Good afternoon, folks. This is your lunch break update. I'm Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered. Someone got suspended not today, yesterday morning. But why?
Freddie wins.
Good afternoon. I am Freddie Vasquez. Happy. This is your lunch break update. Hope you all fine folks in the city of Yonkers are having a beautiful and blessed day. I know that I am, but I know someone is not. Who's not having a good day today? Good afternoon, folks. This is your lunch break update. I want to update you folks as I'm getting some information on the text messages that I received, the strange text messages that I received, but they're starting to make sense now, folks. I'm learning that a gentleman who works over at DPW was suspended for 60 days without pay. Wow. This is what sources are alleging. I reached out to the person to get confirmation. I have not heard back. That person is the individual that I talked about yesterday who sent me the text message that confused me. That person is also the individual that you hear speaking in the audio that I played in regards to how you get a job here in the city of Yonkers and what you have to do. People, want jobs so bad, so desperately because, again, the primary source of employment here is the city of Yonkers, maybe Domino's Sugar, but I don't know if they're paying like the city of Yonkers, or you own a business. And so people want these jobs. They come with pensions, and pensions is what everybody wants here in the city of Yonkers, and I'll be talking about that in a bit. It comes with health insurance. It's a good job. It's steady income. However, you have to go about it in an untraditional way, right? In a way that you normally do not go about applying jobs. And how do you do that here in the city of Yonkers? Well, you have to become political. I'm learning. I wanted to open a business, and look how political I've gotten just to get my daycare center open. Well, if you want a job at DPW, even police, fire, you have to become political. You have to join campaigns. You have to knock on doors. Or if you're fortunate enough to have money, you can write checks at fundraisers like the one that the mayor's having. He's having a fundraiser that has been put together by two individuals that I have dubbed cocaine cowboys. It's just my opinion. Just my opinion. One of the individuals was busted with 100 grams of cocaine. What party were you going to? Hopefully it wasn't the party that Hakeem left and crashed that night, although you were there. The man was not arrested, actually. It was all, swept under the rug, and he was also offered a job. That's just how it goes here in the city of Yonkers. So if you have money and you can attend Hakeem and Jamal's fundraiser for Mayor Mike Spano and write a nice check or two or three, your references will go up. So when you apply for a job and they see your name, how many checks did they donate? They have some good references. We're going to hire that person. It doesn't matter if they got a felony. If they go and commit another felony while on the job, we'll just fire them and hire someone else who's going to work on our campaign. It's a revolving door for some. And for those that it's not, who actually work hard and bust their ass over at DPW or at YPD, YFD, the Board of Education, school district, it's frustrating. It's frustrating to see that. It's divided families here in the city of Yonkers. That's right. Families have been divided over this here in the city of Yonkers. If you have a lot of family members that work for the city, Don't you dare say anything about the city. You're going to be disowned. I have been. Does it look like I care? Has it ever looked like I cared? I never spoke with you much anyway, when? And so the guy that got suspended for 60 days without pay is a gentleman by the name of Allah Neighbor. Is it Ali Neighbor? Allah Neighbor? Howdy, neighbor. It's your neighbor. And it makes a lot of sense now. Ruro sent me an interesting message around the time that he put out that video, which he got from you know who. And he says, I hear your wife is upset and you guys are arguing over it. And I'm like, how does this guy know what's going on in my life? And I asked him that. And he said, yeah, how do I know? And now I'm starting to think how he may know. But the reality is, we weren't fighting over it. Sure, my wife was upset about it. But why would she fight with me? I didn't put it out. You did, Ruros, right? And you and your buddies, some of my family. So I'm going to play the audio that I played that got the individual suspended for 60 days without pay. Please pardon me. I know he just got married. He's got a wife. I didn't mean to do that, miss. I'm sorry. My fault. Is it? Is it my fault? I don't think so. I didn't start this. You guys like music? You ever heard of a song by, what's the guy's name? Billy something. Where's the sunglasses? We didn't start the fire. It was always burning since the city was turning. Although we didn't light it, we joined to fight it. Here's an audio of Mr. Allah Neighbor speaking to someone in regards to how do you get a city job?
Plate for event. You go to a campaign or you buy a plate for event. Either you go to the event or you buy the plate for the event. That's the first step you do is to get your name out there that, hey, listen, I'm here. I want to be a part of this. I want to donate to you guys. I want to be at your events. That's the best way to do it without having to knock on doors.
That's the best way to do it without having to knock on doors and ish. It's telling you right there how you get a job. You go to these fundraisers like the one the mayor's having. And in fact, he's talking about that very specific fundraiser. And I will show you in a little bit when I make the post about it. He was talking about that fundraiser that's coming up with Mayor Mike Spano. And he was all excited to tell people because the more people he can bring up, the more his steam, right? Is that what it's steam, guys? Rises. And he has a little more juice with the Vinster. Because everybody wants to have juice with the Vinster. All right? He thought that I did too. He thought that he had me. I got this guy. He wants to be my friend. And so he uses individuals like this to do dirty work. And he thought he could do the same with me. And now I'm releasing the things that he wanted me to do. Did you guys see that, Sage family? Just saying. There you go. And all the while you were blaming the caters. Then after I released that audio, the individual got suspended. Everybody knew his voice. They recognized it right away. So he got suspended for 60 days without pay. That hurts. 60 days. 2 months, no pay. Imagine what my wife felt, right? But I offered to help. I did. I offered to help. So then I get this strange text message from Mr. Allah. And he's in the gray, I'm in the blue. And I read this yesterday. But this is after he was suspended. So I'm learning that this either was some taunt or some way of letting me know, hey, Fred, I know what happened to you, and I know how it happened to you. And he was throwing me some clues. And I'm talking about the video that was released on the Yonkers Voice. Allah goes, yo, out of the blue. I go, yo. No response. So I say, what's going on? He say, what's up? What do you mean? You okay? I said, who's this? He responds, "Oh shit, I texted you by accident. I was texting Frankie Vasquez." I said, "Oh yeah? You know Frankie?" Then he says, "Erwin, my cousin. Erwin Vasquez, aka Erwin Spano, aka Vinny Spano's best friend, aka Vinny Spano, best man at his wedding when he got married to Jamie." That worked out well for her. She works at the IDA. And she doesn't want to leave. She's hoping she can stay. So I don't know if he meant to do this to give me information or to taunt me. Frankie Vasquez is my uncle. It was his girlfriend and her band of misfits that came to my office to pick up his check that beat me up. I know the video doesn't look like I got beat up because at that point I was able to restrain two of them, actually. The one that's recording the video was also at one point restrained. But I let her go because she promised not to do anything and walk right out. And she did. There was another individual with a big stick breaking my window, which you can hear in the video as she's still breaking it. And I showed you guys the video. So we were attacked. And so they created this whole narrative. They reached out to my Uncle Frankie. These little dirt bags. And they say, "Hey, Frankie, you have a drug problem. So let me give you some money. And so you can use, get your stuff. But you need to give us this video." And that's what they did. So then they colluded. And they reached out to Mr. Ruros. And they said, "Here you go. This is the story you're going to put out. You're going to say that he beat up a mother at his daycare center. You're going to say it just happened." They knew damn well who that was. They knew that that was Frankie's girlfriend because they know him. Or they got to know him. Erwin knows him. That's Erwin's cousin. Erwin, were you involved in this? Erwin, I did message you and ask you, but you have not responded. So I'm going to ask you on the podcast, Erwin, did you know about this? I mean, I get it. You and your wife were saved by the Spanos and put into jobs within the city. And if they're not there no more, hasta la vista, baby. And so you're concerned. And so you're willing to throw your cousin under the bus. But we don't really hang out anyway, right? Doesn't matter. You ain't never invited me to shit, right? I ain't never invited you to shit either, right? Doesn't matter. Doesn't really much matter. And so he texts me this. And I said, "Erwin, this is Erwin?" He goes, "No, I was trying to text Erwin Vasquez. Now you're trying to text Erwin Vasquez. I texted you by accident." I said, "Have you spoken to Frankie?" He said, "Who's Frankie? You're confusing me." I said, "No, you said you were texting Frankie Vasquez." Then he goes on to say, I texted you by accident, that my phone changed your name to Frankie Vasquez, but I was actually trying to text Erwin Vasquez, who is like an uncle to me." "Oh, really? He's like an uncle to you?" "Yeah, well, he's actually my cousin." Doesn't matter much, right? And so he is so desperate to retain his job that I believe he was involved in this collusion to make me look bad, ruin my reputation, and hurt my family, hurt my business. And so for that, I will be suing. And now, a la neighbor, you will be a part of it. However, it doesn't matter what you think. You're gonna be a part of it, or you can speak to me about it. I made you an offer. I thought it was an offer you couldn't refuse, but I haven't heard back from you, Allah. Because if they suspend you for 2 months without pay, that's messed up. I know of a program that helps individuals like you who get suspended out of retaliatory reasons, whistleblowers, and they will help cover their 2 months of pay. So reach out to me. See if I can hook you up with this program. Because 2 months is a lot. But it's up to you. Folks, I'm breaking it all down. I'm getting all the information. They're very desperate to keep their jobs. This is what it's all about. I thought it's about the developments. Nah, I'm hearing it's not. That's necessarily, right? It's about certain people making sure that they stay in long enough to get pensions. They can't leave just yet. Some people didn't manage their money right. They didn't plan for the future. They anticipated being in Yonkers politics the rest of their life. I'm hearing that Vinny Spano is actually the man that's behind this push for the 4th term. As some people have suspected, the mayor seems tired weathered and worn out. But baby bro got to get that pension. Baby bro didn't manage money right. Baby bro got to keep the lights on. So baby bro will do anything to assure that his big bro is reelected for a 4th term. But baby bro has been making some mistakes. And those mistakes are going to catch up with him. So folks, Tasha Diaz issued a press release. What was this all about? Why did she do this? She didn't even apologize. I mean, whether you were right or wrong, your behavior was unbecoming of a council member and a majority leader. You should have apologized for that, but you did not. But it's not surprising, right? How you were raised. Statements from Majority Leader Tasha Diaz, Councilwoman, Yonkers City Council District 3. For the past 12 months, I have been harassed by so-called activists and community leaders, when in reality, they are anarchists and extortionists. Does she know what that means? Get out of here. You didn't write this. We are anarchists? I mean, we want chaos? You're the one that caused the chaos in the city council chambers last week. You're the anarchist. It is clear that these people have targeted me. It's very clear. It's clear as day. A woman of color. Oh, let's throw the race card in there. Oh, man. Here we go. Oh, when it's a lot of minorities, actually, Tasha, that are speaking out against you, I'm just saying, a woman of color instead of my white male counterparts on the council in hopes of bullying me into voting on the council for their agenda. So you're blaming the white men. Come on now. You know what you're doing there, Tasha? You're watering down the claim of racism. You're watering it down because you're so full of ish. Did you forget that you actually threatened one of the white men on the council? Remember when you threatened to F John Rubo up? You threatened to F John Rubo up, and he was scared of you. So I don't know what you're talking about. Liar. Liar. However, I will not allow any veiled threats or intimidation tactics to affect my representation of the people, which you have not been representing. I have faced badgering and harassment at community events. Woman, you attack people at freaking community, meetings in buildings. I have been assaulted at food distributions to the less fortunate. Okay, let's read that sentence again. I have been assaulted at food distributions to the less fortunate. Whatever. Who assaulted you at one of your food distributions? Was it that expired watermelon? Or was it the powdered drinks? These individuals have attempted to extort me into voting their way on key issues before the council by threatening me with a primary and continued harassment. Hold on. I think she's talking about Zahi Jerris and Vinny Spano here. I'm starting to realize maybe she's not talking about any of us, but she's talking about Vinny Spano and Zahi Jerris because they are the ones that have been giving me information about you, Tasha. They told me where you were, the time that you attacked and assaulted your stepdad. They told me this. So are they threatening you and doing this so you can vote in a certain way, Tasha? I just want to be clear on that. Just want to be clear. I did support to keep the affordable housing ordinance at 10%, but not initially for the time being. At 10%, we ensure our communities to have guaranteed access to affordable housing. How does that happen? How does 10% ensure communities have guaranteed access to affordable housing? How? When your approvals of all these zoning changes and these developments is causing the rents to go up all over your district, no longer becoming affordable if they ever were. The fact that while Yonkers makes up 20% of Westchester's population, it makes up a majority of the affordable housing in Westchester signifies that our current affordable housing ordinance is working better than anywhere else in the county. Oh, man. Because really, there's a lot of homeless people here. I don't know if it's working that well. Once a better plan is figured out, I look forward to passing it. But whose job is it to figure that plan out? And what have you been doing? Because you guys made sure that you got this term limit extension thing pushed through quick. 10 days, that's it. Boom, bam, bing. We got it done. But you can't get housing ordinance down packed. Something that we need, you can't get that figured out? What do you mean? Why is it that the people could never get you guys to be able to do anything amazing? But you could do it for the developers. I mean, it's amazing how you guys changed all those zoning laws all over the place. It's amazing how the feds are not all over your asses for that. Because that's a big deal. In fact, very recently, many developers and city council members have been arrested for exactly that, for zoning board scandals, changing zoning laws on behalf of developers. Tasha, who contributes to your campaign? Who? Why would you do a fundraiser in Pelham? Come on, Tasha. You're messing up. You want to be the fall girl? Remember, this happened before 2012, 10 years ago. Pay attention. I did vote to extend term limits for the office of mayor and the city council. We know that. You did it in style. Dramatic fashion. The consensus in Yonkers is moving in the right direction. The consensus in Yonkers is moving in the right. So you're saying that the consensus is moving in the right direction? Right? The consensus? Not the, oh, I don't know. I want to put the right solely to the residents of this city, whether or not their elected officials should continue to represent them. I represent the voices of the people in this city today, not the ones 21 years ago that voted yes to a referendum. Yo, what kind of simpleton? Freddie, don't do that. Okay, I'm sorry. Tasha Diaz, majority leader, unbelievable. Really? Really? I did vote to extend term limits for the office of mayor and city council. The consensus is Yonkers is moving in the right direction. Therefore, I want to put the rights solely in the residents of this city, whether or not their elected officials should continue to represent them. I represent the voices of the people in this city today, not 21 years ago, that voted yes to a referendum. They didn't vote yes to a referendum. They voted on a referendum. Or they wanted one. And they voted to keep term limits. They did it again. Multiple times. The only time term limits have been extended is when it was put into your hands. The elected officials, the ones that stand to gain. I stand proud of my voting record as councilwoman. I look forward to continue delivering for the people of Yonkers. Don't look too much forward. Don't look too much forward, Tasha. This letter's not going to do much for you. In fact, it pissed more people off. Don't think that Vinny got you like that, Tasha. Vinny don't got you like that. If he cared about you, he wouldn't have told me, oh, your business, girl. And that's a fact. That's a fact, Jack. He wouldn't have told me your business if he cared about you. You're done. You don't see it? I see it. Everybody else sees it. Why don't you see it, Tasha? I'm trying to help you, girl. Might not be the nicest way, but you're not the nicest person. I mean, when you call members of the community, members of my community, the Latino community, beggars, oh, I have a serious problem with that. I mean, you know you're a beggar, right? When you surround yourself with Nikki Spano and them, you're the beggar in the room. You don't bring anything to the table. That's the difference between you and I. I bring something to the table when I come in the room. I don't beg. And how dare you disrespect anyone like that? And therefore, you owe her an apology. You owe everybody in that room an apology. And everybody that was watching that debacle, that display of ignorance coming out of your mouth, you owe them an apology. How dare you say you look forward to continue delivering for the people of Yonkers, the people you call beggars. And so we're not going to forget this, Tasha. Nobody is. You say keep it real? Well, I'm glad you kept it real because you showed us who you really are when you call people beggars. Thank you. Thank you for finally keeping it real. And if I were you, I think about what I'm going to do to save myself because it's coming. It's coming, Tasha. And I'm not talking about me, basement politics, or the people of Yonkers coming to vote you out. I'm talking about it's coming. Not coherent, shallow response fragments of excuses, but many clues in there for future reference. 1,000%. 1,000%. So not even a sorry. As a, person that has integrity, that has some dignity, that has class, a moral compass, at the very least, you would apologize. I remember when I went off on my family. Like, this is why I cut my family. And I love my family. Don't get me wrong. I love you guys. I really, really do. But unfortunately, sometimes you have to just have a boundary. You have to stay away. And so when I did that, right, and I got into my family, this was a while back, years ago, right? I had put some stuff on Facebook. They were true, but it wasn't all right. It wasn't okay. And so I took it down, right? Maybe I've had that for like an hour or two, and I apologized to everybody on Facebook that may have seen it. Why? Because I displayed a behavior that was not becoming of who I like to be, who I want people to know me as, who I want my children to see me as, who I want my wife to see me as. And now when your daughter, Tasha Diaz, is sitting behind you, seeing her mom, right, in the role of majority leader, a Black woman, and you display that kind of behavior, you should apologize to your daughter as well. And you should apologize to everybody, because I get it. Sometimes we lose our cool. I'm not faulting you necessarily for getting upset. I am faulting you for how upset you got and how far you took it. And now I'm faulting you for not even apologizing. Because no matter what, you should never have displayed that type of behavior, and you should never have called Diana Sanchez from the Yonkers Sanctuary Movement a beggar. And there's nothing that Diana Sanchez did that warranted that at all. And so you should apologize to her specifically, but to everyone especially. And that's unbelievable that you would put this out. Folks, what I'm hearing is that these individuals are not, look, the mayor's got a lot of money. He's worth millions of dollars, right? Nick Spano, folks, I want to send a prayer out for Nick Spano. I hear he's in the hospital. The man is 71 years old. Right? He's 71 years old. He's done with it. He's not really running the show anymore, and that's why it's getting sloppy. That's why it's getting sloppy. The patriarch is not there. He's in the hospital currently. 71 years old. I send my prayers to you, Mr. Spano. I don't wish anything negative. I wouldn't do that to your family, regardless of what issues we may have. But we don't have issues. But I'm just saying. Your brother and I, that's a different story. Now, they're forcing Mike Spano to run again because the younger siblings and all those that are tied into the city need a job. They need a job. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. And 4 more years will give them a pension. They spent their time in city government, right? Taxpayer money. But what else were they doing? Was Vinny Spano setting up businesses? No, he spent his time in government. Maybe from allegations I hear, taking $5,000 here and there to get somebody a job, but that's about it. That's according to sources, what they're alleging. And so now he needs another 4 years to get his pension. So does his wife. They got the young children. What are they going to do if they're not in office? What is Jamie going to do if she's not executive director of the YIDA? Which many wonder how she even got the position. Was she ever qualified for it? But that's the nepotism that we see here in the city of Yonkers. It's all over the place. And what has pissed people off the most is how blatant and disgusting it has become. You're gonna piss a lot of people off, Steve, when you got a $200,000 a year income, showing there. Vinny, you're gonna piss people off when you attack them and go after them and use your fake accounts, because I hear this is what you enjoy doing. This is your game. You love it. You love it. But it's gonna catch up with you, bro. It's catching up with you, bro. You made some mistakes. And to the nadir, to the sages, I should say, you got to see who's really your friend, who's really not. They never wanted Nader Sage to be mayor because Vinny knew he needed 4 more years for his pension. And so he was going to help me talk about you guys. Whatever that means to you, whatever that's worth to you guys. I just like to be honest and put it out there. I was holding it in, and it was really eating me inside, and I just had to let it out. Folks, I'm Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered. The cracks are starting to show. The walls are coming down. And this is only the beginning. And so what else will you guys do to me? I'm waiting, sitting here, waiting for the next attack. And to all you journalists, guys out there, you will be getting cease and desist. We'll leave it at that. Hopefully you'll stop. And then that's it. But if you want to go further, let's do it. I'm ready. I signed up for it. I knew what I was getting myself into. I prepared. I'm going the distance. This is just the beginning. And I'm excited. I'm Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered. We are living the movie, guys. We are living the movie. We are living the Netflix special. We are living the book. So to all those who are a player in this, you got to decide how you want the story to be told. Will you be one of the villains, or will you be one of the heroes? I'm Freddie Vasquez, folks. Have a beautiful and blessed rest of the day. I'll be on tonight for sure. I apologize about last night. Had some things that happened. Figured I did a podcast anyway. She refers to the constituency as extortionists, but it's the council forcing the 4th term. Right. She doesn't know what she's talking about. Has she ever known what she was talking about? Most likely not. And that is why we have to vote them out. 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 Lady of Rage referred to intelligent American citizens as anarchists and extremists because they outraged over fundamental decisions about their government being taken out of their hands. Isn't that something, right? So we're anarchists because we want our right to decide. Oh, forgive us. Right? Hence, by 4 city council members who shirked their duty, shirked their duty as a check on the executive power in exchange for bribes. Wake up, Yonkers, please. Oh, please. That's right. Wake up, Yonkers. Absolutely. They are the check and balance, which is why I went after them, the way I did, in the beginning, and talking about them and not saying anything about the Spanos. However, I also didn't mention the Spanos because I was, friends with Vinny Spano, and I wanted him to be able to trust me and give me the information to show folks that he's the guy that's working against you. All of you. Because at the end of the day, when everybody else is fighting, the Spano guy's on top, looking nice, clean, away from it, like the nice guy. Then he comes in and he fixes it, right? It's the same old trick that they use, right? They create a problem, then they provide the solution. Same thing they did with the virus. I'm just saying, they create the virus, they provide the vaccine. I'm just saying, you guys got to wake up. I'm just saying. Residents, vote. It's November 2023. That's next year. Vote everyone out. That's right. We have to vote everyone out. Absolutely. Thank you, Will. I appreciate that. You're always keeping that consistent. I got to go. My nose is running. My allergy. I don't know if it's cold. Great coverage. Thank you, and good day to all. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm Freddie Vasquez. I'm up out of here. Peace out of here. Thank you, attorney. Did you see the joke, the funny thing my attorney said about how can we defame Zahi Jerris? He's all over the internet defamed. He defamed himself. How can I defame him anymore than he's already been defamed? What a joke. We're going to have fun. I can't wait. And I'm going to be okay. I promise you that. I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be very okay. I'm going to be okay. Hey, 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 hey.
I'm going to be okay.
But I'm not just going to be okay. Everyone in the city of Yonkers supposed to change is going to be okay. So I need all the supporters. I need people who want to see change, who feel like it's their time to support this movement. Don't be against it. It's over. Be on the right side. Do the right thing. Make sure that you are not forgotten. I'm Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics. Have a beautiful and blessed Tuesday. I believe there's a meeting tonight. Possibly. I'll discuss, but I'll definitely be on. Hasta luego. Sayonara.
Freddie wins.
Ciao. Ciao.
Fatality.
Ciao, ciao, ciao. Ciao, ciao. I'm Freddie Vasquez, Basement Politics. That was your lunch break update. I appreciate you joining me and supporting and watching the show. Continue to spread the podcast. Please don't allow the negative nonsense and lies about me being spread, the goofiness by the goofies, impact your opinion about me. But even if you do have a negative opinion, I really don't care. Just look at the information. That's what's important. What I'm putting out there, that's what's important. That's what matters. Join me this November to vote them out.
Freddie wins. Fatality.
You're watching Basement Politics with my dad, Freddie Vasquez.
Freddie wins. Fatality.
You're watching Basement Politics with my dad, Freddie Vasquez.
Thank you for watching Basement Politics with my husband, Freddie Vasquez.
Freddie wins. Fatality.
I was raised in housing. I was raised in housing. I was raised in housing.
I want to end this quick because I'm greedy and I want somebody to butter chicken. So thank you.
In another one, Mr. Rubo lied to me. And I don't vote for a person that lied to me. Thank you very much.
Freddie wins.